Welcome to the Deficient Vegans podcast. This is episode 23. I'm the Muscle Deficient Vegan here with the Protein Deficient Vegan. You want to say hi?
Hi.
Hi, everybody. So this week, we're going to be talking about stocking your high-protein vegan pantry and fridge. Unfortunately, muscles can't be built on just hopes and dreams. You do need protein, and so it's helpful to have a lot of protein options available to you in your kitchen and in your pantry as you go about your muscle-building journey.
Especially since most restaurants refuse to have vegan protein on the menu.
Yeah, that's true. Even if you don't want to cook at home a lot, you're probably going to have to more than you would like.
They're like, oh, you want a replacement for wings? Here are some soggy cauliflower wings.
Yeah. And I mean, if you're trying to hit a higher protein goal, especially if you're like over 150 grams a day, 200 grams a day, you're probably going to have some pretty intentful planning around that protein. So just having everything you need always in the house, like these are my staples, these are my go-tos, that can be really helpful. So we'll go through some of those options today.
Yeah, especially since a lot of these you can't really just buy at most grocery stores.
Yeah, definitely.
You're going to have to shop for some of the stuff online.
Yeah, and planning ahead is going to be key there. Mm-hmm. So by the end of the episode, you should know exactly what you'll need to keep on hand in the kitchen to hit all your protein goals, and that'll be one less excuse you can make. So we'll start out, we're going to kind of split this up between like the pantry, which is more dry, shelf-stable stuff, and stuff that goes into the fridge.
And some frozen foods.
Oh, yeah, frozen foods as well. So some of the pantry staples, the biggest one we use and advocate for is TVP.
Textured vegetable protein.
Yeah, so what are some of the good options for TVP?
So before I start with that, don't you want to tell people what TVP is?
Textured vegetable protein.
Anyway, it's defatted soy flour.
Yeah, so they take soybeans and use some process to extract all the fat out of them, and then you're left with mostly just the protein that was in the soybean, and then that turns into TVP.
It's usually around 70% protein on a calorie basis.
Yeah, which is pretty high.
Yeah.
So, cool. You want to give us some options?
Yeah, so some obvious ones would be making chilies. You can use it the way you would use ground beef as long as you season it. So like chili, spaghetti, taco meat.
Yeah. Muffins.
Well, yeah. I was getting to that. I'm going through like things most people are using it for.
You got to ease them in.
Yeah. Taco meat, bacon bits.
Yeah, bacon bits
is a good one. And then you can go a little wild. As wild as I go. And you can make desserts and baked goods.
Yeah.
And that's like probably my favorite way to use TVP because it comes out like a similar texture to baked oats.
Yeah.
Oh, it's also really good. Sometimes I'll do like a 50-50 split with TVP and oatmeal.
Right.
And do some like high protein overnight oats. But yeah, I really like it in muffins and cookies.
Yeah. High protein cookies is hard to argue with, really. So,
how can you?
Unless you're talking about Lenny and Larry.
Fuck Lenny and Larry.
I feel like we have had too many digs on Lenny and Larry on the podcast, but I don't think they're going to stop anytime soon.
I'm sorry, Lenny and Larry make better stuff.
Just better macros. It doesn't even have to taste better, really. Just,
yeah.
Man, I don't know.
I mean, I'll still get it at a gas station if I'm hurting, so...
Yeah. It's more like a...
You're still making money off me, Lenny and Larry. You can't be too mad.
Yeah. As much as I talk shit about them, I still eat plenty of them. So
I know you do.
Must be something to it, right? Next up, we have Say Grace, which is also technically TVP, but it's more like a concentrated form of TVP, so it's even more of the protein content.
It's like 90% protein on a calorie basis.
Yeah.
And it comes in different shapes and sizes, which is kind of cool. Like they have... I don't know all the names for them, but they basically have ones like that look like peas.
Yeah.
So those are kind of nice.
Yeah, they have like nuggets and pebbles and flakes. I don't know if they have flakes.
No, they have like shreds.
Shreds, yeah.
And they have fillets.
Yeah.
So lots of stuff you can do there. I use the shredded to make some kind of like a cheesy bacon ranch dip.
Yeah.
You can also use it for like soups and stews.
I really like the texture of those too. Like everything it goes in is like really nice.
That's like nice and dense.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, you have to like soak them first, and then you squeeze all of the extra water out. And then I'll usually like throw them in the air fryer for a couple minutes to get the outside kind of crispy, and then throw them in a pan with sauce.
Yeah,
and it's really good. Like we've made like an orange chicken type of thing out of it.
Yeah, that one's probably the closest to like an actual meat replacement.
Yeah, I would say it's like the closest thing I've seen to seitan that's only made out of soy. It's like the soy version of seitan. Same with like the macros and stuff.
Yeah. It's got like a more fibrous texture.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like a more meaty texture for sure.
Yeah. Next up is soy curls. So all these so far are versions of soy, but that's because soy is like the best protein we have available to us and has a lot of different forms and is very versatile. So
yeah.
Soy curls.
And it's like a complete protein for people that care about that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Soy curls are kind of cool. They're basically like TVP, but big. And you can use them, I don't know, I like using them in sandwiches. Similar cooking method where it's like rehydrate them and press all the extra water out.
Right. Yeah, and all these are shelf-stable proteins. So
yeah.
The next one up is Vital Wheat Gluten, which is typically what seitan is made out of.
Yeah. I have been obsessed with Vital Wheat Gluten lately. I don't know. I have been using it in pretty much everything. It is definitely mostly used in seitan, like a meat replacement. And actually, that's a pretty easy way to use it.
Yeah. Not really an option if you're gluten-free, obviously, since it's just pure gluten, but...
Yeah, but it is like... I think it's almost 90% protein on a calorie basis.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
very high in protein, which means you can use it in things like baked goods and desserts. So like I use it in a no-knead bread that I cook in my Dutch oven, and I use like a...
I don't know if that's what you should call it because I need that bread.
Womp, womp, womp. I use like a 3-to-1 ratio of flour to Vital Wheat Gluten, so you don't even need to use that much Vital Wheat Gluten to like end up with 30% protein on a calorie basis.
Yeah.
And then like if you're only using like a 3-to-1 to a 2-to-1 ratio, it keeps it from getting super chewy. So I like it in bread, in pretzels. I recently made high protein bagels with it. And then for desserts, it's really good in, well, we like these things called chocolate seitan. And they're like shriveled balls and they look gross, but they taste awesome.
Yeah.
And they're like chewy, super chewy brownie bites.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. And then I also have like pumpkin spice seitan, banana bread seitan, and then chocolate seitan sandwich cookies.
Yeah. Yeah, that pumpkin spice seitan, you just had a video on it, last week on YouTube. So check that out. Also red lentil pasta. So this is one of the higher protein forms of pasta out there. Wouldn't necessarily maybe call it high protein, but it's much higher in protein than normal pasta.
Yeah, I think it's like 25 to 30% protein.
Yeah. And it doesn't taste much different to me. Like it's a little different.
It's a little chewier.
Yeah.
But I definitely like it better than like chickpea pasta.
Oh yeah.
Black bean pasta is a good one too, and there's also edamame pasta.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of good gluten-free pasta options that are pretty high in protein, and so yeah, you can have your protein pasta.
Another one that you use a lot of, edamame puffs.
Yes. So basically, those are around I think 80-ish% protein on a calorie basis, and they're basically just super concentrated high protein soy flour and I think a little bit of rice starch.
Yeah.
But they're like little tiny puffy balls and I basically use them the same way you would puffed rice.
And I think you're helping with the popularity of these for better or for worse because every time you post a recipe that uses edamame puffs, they go out of stock on Amazon the next couple of days.
I know. I will buy a bag before I post about them. Yeah. I don't know. It's like playing the stock market when I know it's going to turn. I don't know if it's nefarious, but I do it.
I think only if we tried to resell the edamame.
Oh, yeah.
Puffs.
Okay.
Like the Just Egg Protein, the guy who apparently bought them all up and is selling them for double the price on Amazon or something.
Yeah, I'm not that bad. I just buy like a little bag for me in case it's out of stock for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I really like making Rice Krispie treats out of them. They work so well.
Yeah.
And they're also good in like chocolate crunch bars.
Yeah. Yeah, the chocolate crunch bars are really good.
And you can make protein bars out of them. I would say it is probably my favorite ingredient for like really fucking easy protein snacks.
Yeah, for sure. Like the Rice Krispie treats, you could just you could eat so many of those. They're so good.
Yeah, and they take 5 minutes to make.
Yeah, super
addictive.
Simple. Next up, nutritional yeast. This is not quite in the same vein. It's not like a main source of protein, but it's something that has protein and we use a lot of.
Yeah, it's incredibly protein dense. So I use it in a lot of stuff. If you haven't used it before, it's basically dead yeast. Like,
and as far as like the form goes, think like shaker cheese kind of deal. Like it's just in a little can. You shake some typically on top of something.
It looks like fish food.
Yeah, it kind of looks like fish food.
But it adds like a savory, cheesy flavor to things. So I like to use it in like high protein cheese sauces or pasta sauces.
I see people use it in all kinds of stuff I wouldn't expect. So.
Yeah, I use it in like chili.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, like you can shake that shit in anything and it doesn't change the flavor in any. I don't think it changes the flavor in a negative way if it's like a savory food.
Yeah, you don't want to put it on ice cream or something.
I don't know. Maybe I do. I feel like I'm going to try that now. You can make little vegan Cheez-Its with it.
Oh, that'd be kind of cool. Oh, yeah, you did make those. Those are really good. Yeah, surprisingly close to a Cheez-It.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Next, we have silken tofu, which is a form of tofu that is shelf-stable. So this goes in the pantry, not the fridge.
Yeah, and they also make a refrigerated variety, but I really like the Mori New brand.
Yeah.
They have several varieties of silken tofu that are different firmnesses.
Yeah.
So I typically will buy the extra firm silken tofu, somewhere in the 60 to 70% protein per calorie range. So really good macros. One of the obvious ways to use it would be in smoothies, which we do all the time.
Yeah, this one's more like kind of squishy and liquidy than a normal like a protein or tofu that you think of eating on.
It's really creamy and it doesn't have like the curds.
Yeah.
So I know some people will use it in stir fry and stuff. I don't really usually cook it in like chunks.
Yeah.
I blend it. I blend it into everything.
Yeah.
I will make like high protein dressings, high protein cheese sauces, high protein condiments. Like you can make your own mayo or sour cream with it, which is really nice. High protein pasta sauces, obviously, is a good one. It's great for desserts as well. You can make high protein mousses and puddings. And, it makes a great cheesecake.
Oh, man, those cheesecakes are so good.
Yeah.
We haven't had one of those in a while.
We're going to have to bust it out.
Next up, a protein powder, pretty standard one for somebody who's trying to hit a protein target to have in the pantry. A lot of different brands, varieties, types. There are soy protein powders. There are also single source protein powders like pea protein or rice protein. I don't tend to use those just because if I'm going to have like a big chunk of my protein come from something like that, I'd prefer it to be a complete protein blend. So one that has like a couple of different types of protein in it.
Yeah.
Now, that's not to say you can't use pea protein. It's just not my preference.
Yeah. And I think you can bake with those single source ones pretty well.
Oh, for sure. One of the flavors I like is the Ghost Vegan Cinnabon. I like to mention it every chance I get because I don't know if people actually know that Ghost has a vegan line of protein. I'd like to, bring a little more awareness to that.
I'm an Orgain girl. I like Orgain vanilla. I also like Earth Chimp. Is a good one, but I only like Earth Chimp in smoothies because it does have a bit of a texture.
Yeah.
And I have a weird thing with textures, so.
Yeah. Also, Orgain, I guess, so there's been a lot of stuff in the news recently about like lead powders and plant proteins, and I'm not sure really how impactful that is, based on the levels and stuff. But one good thing to know is that Orgain seemed to score the lowest or close to the lowest out of all the plant powders on the lead contamination.
That is good.
So nice for some peace of mind if you're already kind of on the fence.
Oh, I do like the brand Just that makes Just Egg recently came up with protein powder. Right now it is crazy high price. So yeah. I don't know what's going on with that.
Yeah, make sure you're getting it for the price it sells for at Whole Foods if you're buying it on Amazon, because currently there's somebody like marking it up because the official store is sold out.
Yeah.
So just, try not to get gouged on it.
But I did, basically you can buy this protein powder, the unflavored one, because it's like 92% protein on a calorie basis, and you can make your own Just Egg at home.
Yeah.
In a shaker bottle. So we've been doing that a lot because it's kind of fun.
Yeah. Also, another powder is a peanut powder. So
yeah, like PB2 or PB Fit.
Yeah, we use those a lot. It's kind of like a dry, high protein form of peanut butter, but it's in powder.
I like throwing it in oatmeal.
Yep.
It's good for protein baking. I have a couple peanut butter cookie recipes that use it pretty heavily. It's also good to just mix up with water and dip your apple in.
Yeah.
I think those are like 40% protein-ish?
Yeah, something like that.
Don't quote me on that.
They're not like protein powders or anything, but they're pretty high.
Yeah, they're
a peanut
pretty high.
Thing.
It takes out, it's basically, I think most of them, it's like defatted peanut powder, but I think some of them actually have a little bit of pea protein in them as well.
Yeah.
Is that right? Or is that just the spread?
No, I think that is right.
Okay. But yeah, I don't know. It's good.
All right. Next up, so kind of a normal food staple to have in the pantry, beans and lentils. As a vegan, this is one of like the higher protein, kind of natural, dry vegetable type ingredients.
Yeah. And it's really high in fiber, which is also good.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say, like, if you're trying to hit a high protein goal, you should not only be relying on beans and lentil because you're going to have a lot of trouble hitting that protein target with also hitting your calorie target, probably.
Yeah.
Unless you have like a huge amount of calories you can have.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely want to incorporate much higher protein per calorie sources in your diet. But you have to eat your vegetables anyway. Beans and lentils are both great for all the nutrients and antioxidants and fiber and all that stuff. So I would definitely include it in your diet.
Yeah.
But you're not going to hit a high protein target, which is beans. So.
Yeah. And I mean, you can get the canned ones, or you can get dry, which is even cheaper. It's like probably one of the cheapest.
Yeah, definitely cost effective. So it's a good option.
Yeah, get a whole bunch for whatever apocalypse is going to strike.
Next, low carb tortillas.
Yeah, I really like the Mission ones.
Yeah. We don't really obviously eat low carb. We were talking about beans and lentils and stuff, but the benefit of the low carb tortillas is that they're high in protein.
Yeah.
So that's pretty nice. And they don't really taste much different to me. Like we put them in a burrito or a taco or something, and they taste effectively the same, and it's just a little bit of a protein boost in the food.
Yeah, I really like the Mission. I think they're carb control, and also the plant protein ones. Those are good. And they're, I think, somewhere in the range of like 35 to 40% protein on a calorie basis.
Yeah. Pretty good for a tortilla. You
can make a high protein quesadilla.
Ooh, can we make chips out of those?
Yeah, we've done that.
Hey, look at you go.
Yeah, you can cut them up and spray them with a little bit of oil and just like throw them in your oven.
Oh, we did.
And you
make
get
those.
tortilla
I remember
chips.
that. I legitimately did not remember that until now. Yeah.
They do get soggier more easily.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But I mean, I'm not complaining.
Yeah. Next, we have some kind of like snack foods that you would keep in the pantry, more like a grab and go, throw it in your lunchbox or whatever type thing, keep in your car or something like that maybe. So the first one we really like is dry roasted edamame. You can get this on Amazon. I haven't seen it in any stores, I don't think, but we typically get that.
I think I've seen it in gas stations though. A couple times, like the Sea Point brand is getting out pretty hard. And then there's that, is it the One Bean or something?
Oh yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so there are a couple good brands.
Right.
But those are around 40% protein on a calorie basis, so a really solid snack. It's like a good replacement if you like roasted nuts, but you don't want the fat.
Yeah, definitely good.
What kind of nuts?
These nuts?
Yeah. Moving on.
And yeah, edamame, also a form of soy. That's basically just dry roasted soybeans. Protein bars, another kind of obvious one to keep in the pantry.
I'm so picky about protein bars.
Yeah.
I almost hate every protein bar I try. I do like the Barbell ones. The Barbell makes a couple vegan flavors.
Yeah, I think they have recently released a newer vegan flavor. I haven't tried it yet. I also like no-cow bars have the best macros. Let me just say that.
The worst texture, best macros.
Yeah, so they're the best protein source. Not necessarily the best flavor, but I like them okay. The ones I've actually been eating a lot recently are the Builder brand. I don't know if all their flavors are vegan or not. I'm not really sure, but I know they have a lot of vegan ones, so I've been trying those, and they're really good.
Misfits. I like the Misfit protein bars. Those are pretty good.
Yeah.
As good as a protein bar can be.
Right.
I know a lot of people eat the Green Bites. Green Bites makes like protein bars, protein cookies. They're really expensive though. So
yeah, and they also I don't imagine they keep very long.
I think they say you have to like refrigerate them and eat them in a couple of days. I don't know. Yeah. We bought a couple because people have been asking for replications.
Yeah.
So we're working on that.
Yeah, but those are good for a protein source. So. Also, protein chips. So the only one I know of this off the top of my head that's vegan is the Endurance brand protein chips.
The nacho ones are so freaking good.
They're really good. Yeah, you can get those on Amazon as well.
Sweet chili ones?
Yeah,
is that the ones you like?
It's almost sort of like a sweet chili Dorito, but not really. But it does have protein in it.
Yeah. They also make high protein pretzels. I can't remember what brand that is. Is it Lenny and Larry that makes the high protein pretzels? Those are pretty good.
I think that is Lenny and Larry. I don't remember for sure, but I think it is Lenny and Larry.
Yeah, we just looked it up. It is Lenny and Larry. They're called Fitzels. Those are pretty good.
Yeah.
I'd say it's the best thing Lenny and Larry makes. The bars in hell. No, I'm just kidding.
Also, something else to keep in the pantry are the ready-to-drink protein shakes. The one I really like is Owyn, Owyn. They're plant-based protein shakes. There's two different versions, one a little lower calorie, a little lower protein. I like the one that's higher protein. You can keep them basically on the shelf. They're better if you keep them in the fridge, but you don't have to do that. And a small bonus, they were also listed on that lead contamination report as having a really low source of lead if you're worried about that kind of thing. But they actually taste really good. There's just a standard chocolate version, and I think there's a vanilla version. So really good protein on the go kind of thing.
Yeah, I think I've seen people use those as a base for creamy recipes too, like Ninja Creamy recipes for high protein ice cream.
Yeah, I've seen that. Another option are the vegan jerkies. There's a couple different kinds out there. Beyond makes one that's mung bean protein and pea protein, and it's pretty high protein, almost like a protein bar. I think it's just over 40% protein by calorie.
Yeah, then there's Louisville vegan jerky, which is also a good option. I think theirs is mostly soy-based.
Yeah.
But also gluten-free if that's something you're looking for.
Yeah. So a couple good options there. And, those obviously can last quite a while. Not forever, but they're a good long-term shelf-stable type of option.
Speaking of Louisville vegan jerky, they recently came out with a new snack called the Gym Snack, which is hard to remember, but they taste great.
Yeah, those things are really good.
You would think it'd be easy to remember because it's the Gym Snack, but for the life of me, I just can never remember the name, and I feel so dumb.
Yeah.
They make a cheese one and then a jalapeno cheddar one.
The jalapeno cheddar one was good. And if you go looking for it, it's not Louisville Vegan Jerky Gym Snack. Yeah. It's its own brand called The Gym Snack. It's just made by the same people who made Louisville Vegan Jerky.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's a really good option.
The macros on those are insane. I think they were 40% or something.
Yeah.
So
it's pretty good for a little bag of cracker type things, basically.
Yeah, they taste good too. There's a similar crunchiness to maybe a Cheez-It.
And then the last snack option we have for the pantry is something called Bada Beans.
Those are so addictive.
They have a lot of flavors too.
They do. They've got endless flavors. They even have sweet flavors.
Yeah, my favorite is the buffalo.
I like the onion one.
Yeah.
I can't remember, sweet onion or something.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
I love that one.
Yeah, a lot of good ones there.
There's also a barbecue one that's really good.
Yeah.
Either way, those are all around 20% protein on a calorie basis, which is honestly outstanding for how good those are. Yeah. And I think, what are they? Broad bean. I think they're broad beans. Yeah. They're basically dried broad beans with a bunch of seasoning.
Yeah.
They're really good.
Oh, one last thing you can keep in the pantry. So I like to eat oatmeal a lot, but there's also a form of oats that are protein.
They're somehow enhanced. Higher protein, yeah.
Protein enriched. So they're protein oats right off the bat. So you don't have to add protein powder, or at least maybe not add as much protein powder if you want a protein oat.
I think the only one I've seen is Bob Bread Mill, but
yeah.
They taste pretty much like a normal oats.
Yeah. Bob's Red Mill is kind of the OG with a lot of really good vegan protein options.
Yeah, which is annoying because they mostly push gluten-free stuff.
Yeah, they don't really market themselves as a vegan protein, but they have some good ones.
It annoys me.
Yeah. So those are some of our favorite things to keep in the pantry and, keep on the snack shelf for grab-and-goes. So now we can kind of talk about some of the stuff you might keep in the fridge or freezer for your vegan protein options. The first one we want to talk about, obviously, is tofu.
Tofu.
Yeah. We talked about silken tofu a little bit in the pantry, but this is more for the forms of tofu that you might keep in the fridge.
Yeah. So there is a version of silken tofu that's refrigerated. So you might store that in your fridge if you don't have access to Mori New.
I always forget that exists.
I know. It hangs out by the other tofus, but I just really like mine in the little boxes. Yeah. Then there's firm tofu, which is good for I like making cream cheeses, dips. You can also make ricotta.
Yeah.
Homemade ricotta. Then you have your extra firm and your super firm that can be used kind of interchangeably. Although extra firm, you are going to have to get a tofu press or use a bunch of books.
Yeah. What's that for?
Oh, yeah. Extra firm and super firm are fun because you can do all kinds of stuff to them. You can shred them. You can crumble them. You can thinly slice them with a vegetable peeler. What else can you do? I guess you can cube it. A lot of people cube it. I like to cube it sometimes.
Tofu cubes are kind of like the quintessential vision people get when they think of tofu, which is one of my least favorite ways to eat it and one of the least common ways I eat it. But it's okay sometimes.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of grating it.
Yeah. And
crumbling it because you can get a lot of flavor. It has a bunch more surface area, so you can really get a bunch of flavors to stick to it.
Yeah. I like it that way too. Next, we have tempeh, which we really don't eat a lot of, but a lot of people do like it. And it is a really good option, and it's high protein. So I would recommend another form of soy. It's fermented soy. So if you find a version of tempeh that you like and it works for you, I definitely recommend keeping that around in the fridge.
And tell us about it, because we are not converts to tempeh yet.
Yeah, we've tried it a couple different ways, a couple different versions. Haven't quite clicked with us yet. So if you have any tempeh versions that you've tried, or maybe prepared ways that you tried it and you really like it, let us know. We'll try it out for sure. Always open to finding new ways to get protein in. The next one you might keep in the fridge are plant-based milks. We really like soy milk. It's the highest protein, complete protein, but there's a lot of options out there. We used oat milk for a while, and that's kind of more of a creamy type milk.
Yeah.
There's also other options like oat or almond milk you can use.
Yeah. I personally prefer soy because it's 40% protein on a calorie basis, so you can use it in pasta sauces and all kinds of stuff as a base.
Yeah. One of the other benefits of plant-based milk like this is that it's usually fortified with calcium and a couple of vitamins and stuff like that. So it's good to help with a vegan diet specifically. Another option are some of the vegan deli meats. The most popular and common one is probably like Tofurkey, and they have a brand. So they have a bunch of different types of sliced tofu-based meat replacements. There's also a brand called Upton's that has some options for you in the fridge. So if you're into deli meats and like sandwiches and stuff like that, you do have some options there with those. Also, there's just seitan after you make it from the wheat gluten. It's going to have to hang out in the fridge.
Yeah. Well, there's also some ones you can buy. Like Upton's has one, Blackbird. Blackbird has amazing seitan.
Yeah.
It's actually what got us into seitan.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point. We hadn't really tried seitan much a couple of times, and I honestly didn't really like it much. Maybe it was just the places I tried or whatever. But then we tried the Blackbird Foods like wings, and they have barbecue wings and buffalo wings and things like that in seitan form, and really like those. And we ended up with like a refrigerator dedicated to them. And we've come down from that a little bit, but we still do really seitan in a bunch of different forms now.
Yeah, we actually discovered Blackbird barbecue seitan because we were traveling in Texas and living out of a hotel, and we couldn't find like really very many good restaurant options. So we went to H-E-B, which is like a Texas grocery store, which is massive and awesome.
Yeah.
And we just stumbled upon it. And I guess they had it because it's like Texas barbecue seitan. And shit, that stuff was great.
Yeah.
We cooked it in our little hotel room on a hot plate, and that's what we ate.
Yeah, I need every grocery store chain to get on the level of H-E-B for vegan options in general, because that was nuts.
It was good.
I've never seen anything like that since then. Next up is Just Egg. So you can have like the egg patties would be maybe a frozen thing, but also there's like the normal Just Egg.
The liquid Just Egg.
Liquid egg, yeah.
Yeah, and the macros for Just Egg are pretty similar to the macros for a normal egg. So,
Right.
And it's made out of mung bean.
Next up, your protein-dense vegetables like broccoli, mushrooms, spinach, cauliflower. Now, obviously, we're not saying get all your protein from broccoli, right?
Right.
But if you're going to be picking vegetables and you have a protein goal, you might just keep in mind, like, hey, if I choose broccoli, it's got a little more protein in it than maybe like a lettuce or something. Right?
Yeah, or like you're making your morning smoothie. Spinach is a good one to add because a couple handfuls could be like 8 grams of protein.
Right. And obviously, it brings a lot to the table other than protein nutritionally. So a good option anyway.
All right.
So those are some of the things you might keep in the fridge. Now we can talk about some of the things that might go into the freezer. So we can start with like things you might have meal prepped for the week. Those are usually going to be in the freezer for the things at least towards the end of the week.
Yeah. I like casseroles are a good one. Like big batches of pasta.
Yeah. I mean, if you use the freezer, you can meal prep like a week or two in advance. So.
Yeah. I really like freezing TVP muffins works really well because you can just defrost them in the morning when you take them to work. What would be your favorite thing to meal prep and freeze? Do you have any?
I think it'd probably be like a lasagna. Because
you cook lasagna a lot?
Well, no. But if I had to meal prep something and freeze it, it would probably be lasagna.
I agree. Lasagna meal preps and freezes quite well.
I think ideally I would freeze, I don't know, a year's worth of lasagna at a time and then just eat that.
This can have to be a huge fucking freezer.
Yeah. Well.
Oh my God. Do you remember that one time I made that big batch of like pasta primavera and then I just froze the whole thing in a massive like glass dish and just chucked it in the freezer, and then I was like late for work and I'm like trying to cut this block of ice basically to get a serving for work because I'm a moron.
I remember that. Yeah.
So don't do that.
Yeah. The downside of freezing is that it has to thaw before you can take it out for your serving.
Yeah. So if you're gonna do servings, batch those out beforehand. Otherwise, you're gonna be so sad.
Yeah.
I was so sad and stressed. Something
else you can keep in the freezer are some of the meat alternatives, like the Beyond Meat, Impossible Meat, and the Meaty even.
Yeah, I think I saw their maybe back ?
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with Meaty, but if you see it, buy it all and freeze it because it's really good.
Yeah, it's expensive, but the macros are pretty good. Also, you mentioned Blackbird seitan wings.
Yeah.
Those are amazing.
Yeah, those are good for the freezer as well.
And you can also freeze their seitan as well.
Yeah.
Guardian also has some decent options. They might not be as high protein as some of the other ones we mentioned.
Yeah, so those are some of the options you can keep in the freezer. So in summary here, we want to try to keep protein options handy in the house in general. So that'll keep you from going out to get delivery or go out to a restaurant just because you don't have any options at home and you're hungry. You can always have something around that you can grab as like a protein-based snack.
Yeah, maybe we should actually touch on like if you can't meal prep, if you don't have time, if you're working like crazy work hours, like what would be some good options if you had to go out in the wild to a restaurant? Like what would you suggest?
Yeah, so for protein. So one thing we've had a lot of luck with for protein are like poke bowl places because they'll have tofu in them a lot. Noodles & Co. has tofu. So if you have one of those nearby, you can get pretty much anything that has tofu as an option.
Yeah,
you can
Thai places have a good amount of tofu.
Oh, one I really like is Chipotle.
Mm-hmm.
You can get the sofritas, which are marinated tofu, and just get a bowl and like load that up with tofu. That's probably the highest protein like chain available everywhere option.
Yeah. I would have said Panda Express, but they got rid of their orange Beyond.
Yeah, the Beyond Orange chicken thing was really good. Unfortunately, they don't really have that anymore.
Yeah. Taco Bell is also not a horrible option because you can just get a bunch of beans.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll get more options in the future, but those are some of the ones that, like, if I go somewhere else or we're out somewhere and we're like, oh, we're hungry, we want to make something, those are, like, kind of the go-tos for the fast casual type place.
Or if, like, we're traveling, if we have to go to a gas station, some options could be, like, some places will have the dry roasted edamame or vegan jerky.
Yeah.
Or Lenny and Larry's.
But the pretzels, they have the pretzels now.
Protein shakes. Sometimes they'll have the pre-made protein shakes.
And they'll usually have a couple of the vegan protein bar options. They might not be like your favorite or the best macros or something, but they'll have like one or two at most gas stations. So those are good options. And also, so we talked about stuff you like want to keep in your house. You might also think about things you don't want to keep in your house. Maybe just try to limit like anything that you tend to really dig into that's not great for you.
For me, it's the hit peas. It's the Flavor Blast white cheddar hit peas. They're my Achilles heel. I want to eat nothing but them.
Yeah, so just maybe try to limit the junk food that's in your house. And if you have all the high protein stuff taking up all the room in your pantry, you can just make that a little easier.
Or you can add on to your pantry and then just store your junk food separately.
Yeah, that's bad advice.
Giving you options.
I'd also recommend trying to like experiment with new protein options on a regular basis. Most of the stuff that we listed here that's like a specific product, we just came across it one day and we were like, okay, I guess we'll try it. And we've tried a lot of stuff that really sucks and is not great. But, you have to really try it at least once before you know for sure. So, and maybe you'll think some of the stuff we recommended sucks, so you can try other things. So.
Yeah, honestly, that's how I stumbled upon edamame puffs.
Yeah.
I was literally just searching like on Amazon for vegan protein, and after like 30,000 scrolls, I stumbled on them and I was like, what are these? I need these. What do I do with them?
Right.
So yeah, and if you stumble upon anything cool, let me know.
Right. Yeah, so that's pretty much what we had for like the foods to keep around in the house. Now we can talk about our myth of the week this week. The myth we have this week is that clean eating automatically causes fat loss. So the idea here is as long as you eat things that are quote unquote healthy, you're still going to lose weight no matter how much you eat. Which, if you understand that like weight is really controlled by calories, I think you're going to know that doesn't make a lot of sense. But a lot of people don't really understand that calorie relationship.
Yeah.
So generally, you're still going to want to make sure that if you're trying to lose weight, you have to be eating fewer calories than you use throughout the day.
It's a material and energy balance. That's what I've been saying.
And that counts even if the food is healthy. So if you're eating the best optimal nutrition diet and nothing that's considered unhealthy, if you eat too many calories worth of that, you're still going to gain weight. You might have some better heart health and better blood work and stuff like that than somebody who's eating a bunch of junk food, but you're still going to gain weight. So that's definitely a myth. And when around the time that this podcast comes out, your video about the TVP apple muffins will be coming out.
Yes.
What do we got going on there?
Okay, so if you haven't used TVP for baking yet, TVP is textured vegetable protein. It kind of bakes similar to oats. So when you use it in muffins, it turns into kind of like a baked oats, like if you were putting oats in muffins.
Yeah.
But I really like it. You can use TVP dry, which is how I use it in this. And I think they're great.
Yeah, me too, for what it's worth. Okay, and this is actually the last one that'll come out before Halloween. So happy Halloween,
Happy
everybody.
Halloween!
I hope you go out and get a bunch of candy.
Speaking of, like, what is your favorite Halloween candy to pass out that's vegan?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. We always struggle with, like, what can we pass out? What will the kids actually like? So it's not like we're handing out boring things like apples or something. I think the thing we have right now to hand out is the combo pack of, like, the Sour Patch Kids and Swedish Fish.
Yeah.
Those are both vegan, so.
Yeah, and I think Airheads, we figured out those were vegan.
So there's definitely some options. I'm just curious, what you guys like to hand out.
Yeah, and there are some vegan candy brands, but they are, like, significantly more expensive.
Yeah. Might as well just start handing out money at that point.
I know.
All right. Well, thanks for listening. And if you want to reach out, we've got a link in the show notes to send us a text message. And you can send us anything there that you maybe have a question about or want to hear more about on the podcast. Or if you just have a question about something unrelated you'd like us to answer on the podcast.
Or recipe ideas.
Yeah, recipe ideas. Really anything. We also have in the show notes links to our websites and social media. You can even reach out there if you want to have maybe a little more direct conversation. You have some very specific... Yeah. Happy to talk to you guys and hear your feedback and ideas. Yeah, I think that's it. You want to say bye?
Bye.
Bye, everybody.